So,
How is
um,
Matt B. Davis anyway?
oh my
What is that
God.
background too?
I was okay. Look, I was trying to British it up a little bit, you know. Fuck it, I can take it off if you want to.
Have we got translate on so Matt knows what we're saying?
Well, I just did a podcast with Bad Boy Running, and it
Oh,
was
did you?
it was Ali and David Hellard, and I
Yeah.
understood most of what they said. Um,
Have you got some caffeine bullets in the post?
well, we're going to talk about that.
Good stuff. I'm sponsored by it. It's good stuff.
You're sponsored by it. Oh, okay.
Sponsored.
He gets product.
Exactly.
A shitload of product
it's not. It's not
for
sponsored.
free. If it's free,
That's what
it's sponsored. Surely.
Jack, you're 0 for 2 so far. Number one,
Fuck's sake.
trying to impress people with a graphic, but it's a 15-year-old version.
I'm
Two,
impressing no one.
He coloured it in. He got his niece to do it at Christmas.
second piece, I'm a sponsored athlete. You realize that
I never said sponsored athlete. Never
like-
said sponsored athlete.
I don't know what you guys do over there, but over here in America, we take the piss out of anyone
I
who
know.
uses that phrase, who puts it in their fucking IG.
Especially
bio.
Woodsy.
Well, he's doing better than me, Matt. I don't even get free caffeine bullets, so I get nothing.
So I suppose when you say sponsor, you mean like that would be a paid for thing, like you're getting paid to do that for that company.
Tom Brady's a sponsored athlete. Like,
Yeah.
If you're getting product to shout about it, you're an ambassador.
right. As a matter of fact,
That's
we
what-
had an amazing.
Even
we
if
had
it's free.
We
Yeah.
had even if it's free. We had an amazing IG post recently that my former co-founder, aka Christian, posted. And can you read that for the listeners, please?
A brand. I saw that. Yeah. A brand ambassador is not a sponsorship. It's a discount code.
So there you go.
He thinks I'm stupid. He thinks I'm stupid.
I don't think
I
you're
saw
stupid.
that, Matt. I saw it.
I don't think you're stupid.
You do.
I don't think you're stupid. I think you're a lovely person.
I'm
The
Well, this is
other
a lovely surprise. Thank you, Jack, by the way. I didn't know you were coming on, Matt. He wouldn't tell me who it was. He said, I have a surprise for you.
it's your favorite American.
Yep.
Top 5.
Potentially, I'm just working my way through. I have to say, Ian Hosek and Aaron Newell are up in the top.
Okay. Did they come on
Wait.
your show recently? Is that why?
No.
We haven't had Ian on for. In fact, Ian was before my time, but when we met them in Tahoe, they're just on our maturity wavelength, aren't they, Jack?
To be fair, we had Ian's dog on more than we had Ian. Watson would not shut up.
I do want to say that I want to give you this opportunity, Natasha, to speak to your fans because
I don't have fans.
part of our relationship is I make fun of your horrible accent, and I was doing this on Instagram stories in Greece,
Oh, yeah.
and I got very what's the word? I got very
The way you cut it made out like I was being an arse to you, and actually I was just giving you a bit of sarcastic sass. And
Well,
everyone was messaging me going, oh yeah, give him the sass. And I was like, I wasn't. I was actually making a joke. I think
it was far worse. People were saying like, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't make fun of an Asian person. How could you make fun of an English accent? And it's like,
so basically you got called a racist.
well, I would in fact make fun of an Asian person. But yeah, it was like, oh God, the oversensitivity, again, mostly reserved for Americans, but apparently some Brits think I'm far too mean.
Well, I have to admit, I was sitting there stressing, Jack, wasn't I, that everyone was going to think I was horrible. And actually, everyone thought you were horrible. So it backfired.
I think, to be fair, it was the shitty face you did on the old Instagram post. It was the expression that made it look worse than it actually was, I do believe.
Yeah, but I did laugh afterwards, but he cut that bit.
He did make you look like a bitch, I must admit.
Yeah, but
I don't
most
know
people
that
that know me, no,
I
I'm
don't know
not.
that
I'm not serious.
I don't know that I cut it as much as the Instagram timing actually
Yeah.
wore out, ran out. Well, listen, I need to actually refill my cup. So
Go do your professionalism. You walk off.
So when I walk off, it gives my guests a great opportunity to plug whatever they want to plug. So if you want to plug Caffeine Bullet or you want to plug your show, you can have a minute or two to do that.
We want you to plug our show.
Well, I'll do that too. I'll do that too because I'm a nice person, but I'm going to be right back.
Okay, come back with some news. He's just left us. I love it.
He literally has just left.
Literally 10 minutes in, we've lost the guest.
We've
Jack.
lost him already. I'm not sure if we're here. Yeah, not too bad, thank you, Natasha. I'm not sure if we're Matt B. Davis' guest or if he's our guest right now because I'm not even sure who set this up. But anyway, as you can read my name, OCR Audio, which I've actually spelled completely wrong. Yes. I'm glad he's not here. I've completely fucked this up, haven't I? OCR, it's because I was panicking, right, about this getting into this room. So I just quickly wrote up a quick, funny little message and I fucked it up.
It cuts off. What does it say? Is the only one to listen to?
Yeah, basically. So, yeah, if you want less of this coffee break shit and decent quality podcasts...
stick with us.
Yeah, stick with OCR Audio.
We can slag off ORM because he's not actually here, so...
No, we're not going to slag him off. He's second best, let's be honest. Two, 3 Brits who don't know what they're doing.
Take that Mud Run Guide Awards.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just
don't know what you're on about. At least we don't just disappear mid-podcast.
Just feeling sorry for Matt B. Davis. That's all they were doing.
But to be fair, he has been asked to be a guest on another podcast. We've never been a guest on another podcast. No one wants us.
No, well, I think we're a guest on Matt B. Davis's right now. So actually, it's the first.
It's because we're not sponsored athletes. We're not important enough.
Athletes. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Right, he's coming back. Stop slagging him off.
Oh, right, yeah.
Was that fun?
Bye.
Was that awesome? Was that fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Now I know how Just feels when you just walk off. He's like, okay, now I'm just talking on my own. I don't really know what to say. Matt will be back. He's just having a poo in the toilet.
That's not what I'm doing.
More importantly, Matt, how did you make your coffee?
How did I make it?
Yeah, are you a coffee snob? Are you like one of these people that do it properly? Or are you just an instant coffee kettle, boom?
We drink regular coffee in this house.
What, like instant?
Instant? No, that's garbage.
There you go.
Who would drink instant coffee? That's disgusting.
Are you a cafetiere or a whole bean man?
You know, you buy it in a giant tin, right? It's about this big. It's already been ground for you, right?
Lazy fucker.
Lazy, yeah.
You don't have a grinder?
That's instant, Matt.
Instant to me is Nescafe, where you just add,
Oh no.
That's what we call instant.
Oh, okay. So you're just putting boiling water into your granules, yeah?
No, the machine does that.
Oh, you have a machine, okay. So let me go back to my original question. So you have a machine that pours your coffee?
Wow, this content is
It wasn't a hard fucking question. It was a simple question. You made it really hard by slagging off instant, apparently. What are you drinking, Tash? She's gone silent. Why did she put bloody silent?
So you don't hear me slurping. I'm having a mocha.
A mocha. Oh.
What did you call it earlier?
Mocha.
Is that a word?
Yeah, mocha.
You're looking very dapper, talking of mocha. You're looking very dapper today, Tash. Are you working?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. With my scarf around my neck because I've just got... Thanks. I'll take that. Usually I get slagged off.
Good. Hey, Matt, you'd be happy. I just went back through most of your podcasts and listened to you sat here doing hours and hours of emails. Just been listening to you.
What's that? It's a coffee maker.
And Mr. Coffee.
Now, Tech Corner. Talk about Tech Corner. How have you done this, Matt?
He's just shared his screen.
I shared my screen.
That's clever.
I closed all the porn and I shared my screen. So that's a coffee maker in America. Instant coffee is where you take a little Nescafe and you just pour water in it, and it's like the shittiest coffee possibly have. Yeah, so we don't have a fucking grinder because I've got 3 kids and I don't need more noise in my fucking house. I need coffee in the morning. You set it the night before. You wake up. You've got delicious coffee. I actually add cream and sugar, which I know I'm not a real man. Real men drink it black. I'm well aware.
Oh, no.
Yeah, definitely black. Once you go black, you never go back.
That's what we say here in the States.
Mm-hmm. It's very true.
So what is your, what what business are you in, Natasha? What's your regular day job?
This is going to sound so posh. I work for procurement for the John Lewis Partnership.
And what's John Lewis? We don't know what that is over here.
John Lewis is a very quintessentially British brand, known and loved by the nation. We have
like Tesco.
No, wait, we have Waitrose, darling. So we're the higher quality end of supermarket and retail department stores, and I work in the head office.
But when you say a well-loved brand, don't people love Tesco?
Well, what would you say about Tesco versus Waitrose, Jack? Because I can't really.
You have to have money to go to Waitrose.
No. This is where people get it wrong. They think because it's better quality, it's way more expensive.
Yeah.
Oh boy, is this where we get this pitch where the posh white people try to explain that it's actually really affordable?
Yeah, 100%. It's not affordable. Like that banana would be like £3 from Waitrose. This banana would be like 20p from Morrison's, but
so is it like
banana. We're not like Whole Foods.
Yeah, Whole Foods. That's what we have. We have Whole Foods.
So Whole Foods on your price bracket, you'd have Whole Foods like way up top, then Waitrose, then our
Sainsbury's.
I love how Natasha has just one lone medal hanging behind you. Is that a very special one for you? Is that?
I've got them all around. So I have a lot of picture frames in my house. And I haven't got pictures. I just have all my medals around my house.
Typical woman that lives at home on a road. She just puts a fucking medal on each bloody hook coming out of the wall, probably from the previous owner.
Yeah. I have a picture of my dog up in the dining room, and that's about it. The rest is medals.
Wow,
yeah,
you sound like a really fun lady.
I also have in my lounge a bike, a lot of weights, some kettlebells. It's not. I do have a sofa as well, but it's mostly a home gym.
That's how we roll.
Yeah. So.
Do you think one day you'll settle down?
I've kind of settled down. He lives 4 hours away, so my house is. I can do what I want with my house.
So the person that you've settled down with lives 4 hours away from you.
Yeah.
Very, very settled.
Does he consider the relationship he's having with you the same one you're having with him?
You'd have to ask him.
This is an interesting topic.
Wow. This is turning into a dating podcast.
I mean, maybe to him it's like this lady that he shacks up with once in a while. She lives nowhere fucking near here.
It's the best of both worlds, Matt, though, isn't it? You get your independent lifestyle, and then you also get, somebody for the relationship side of it. You get the best of both. I'm an independent girl. I'm not needy.
Listen, not needy is great. My wife is not needy either. I am certainly the needy one in our relationship.
I thought you were gay until I saw your wife on the Ryan and Ryan podcast the other day. I was like, shit, Matt Davis is not gay. Bollocks.
She's a freaking legend.
I had that nailed down as gay.
Where
with
can
like
I watch
kids.
It? I listened to it, but I do want to watch it just to look at all of the presents that you. The audio.
It's on Facebook.
I am too naive. I do not understand what kind of sex toys they're describing right now. But it didn't sound good.
I have to say that it's not what I expected. I mean, so in America,
what, from Woods? Surely you expected that from Woods.
So for over there, it's this whole Secret Santa or White Elephant Game or Dirty Santa, all these various things. It's not uncommon for someone to be that guy, right? To stick the giant black dildo in there, right? So it's not a massive surprise, but between the three of us, it's supposed to be something in your house or that you made.
Yeah.
Right?
So
you must
had all that stuff.
Right. So let's just go ahead and say that it was unused. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt that it was unused product, but still was in his house. So
and it wasn't just one.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. That's why if you looked at my if you go to iTunes and there's a little tiny just description next to the thing,
explicit,
where you describe the episode, I just put Ryan Woods is a freak because bizarre, right? Not
Yeah, I do
not
want to
normal.
know. Surely he. What was Katie's take on it? Did she give anything away?
Well, we'll get her on next time. She was on the phone. She was on speaker and doing a thing. But yeah, it was. Anyway, I was shocked. I really
You
was.
know what it was? Woodsy bought all of that for Katie for Christmas, and Katie went, no, I don't want any of that crap. So it got put in the post.
But that's what I'm. It couldn't have been.
Or it wasn't big enough. Pure and
Wow.
simple.
Wow.
Wow.
I love the fact Stacey is like, is this a bracelet? I can wear this to the gym. No.
She was joking. She was well aware of what it was.
Oh, good. To be fair, I might have questioned it too.
No, you definitely would have questioned it.
So, and Jack, when you're not getting free caffeine bullets, what do you do?
I'm a sponsored athlete, don't you know?
Besides
He
that,
doesn't work, Matt.
I don't work. I do this, I do that, a bit of this, a bit of that. No, look, I'm branding right now. This is my company. I have a training facility here in England, listen at me, called Field Fit. And we basically train OCR and boot camp.
Field fit. What does the field mean?
Because it's
in
a
the field. And you get fit there.
And you get fit. It's pretty
clever.
Simple. Yeah, very basic, very clever, field fit.
Is it military?
No, not at all. I'm not military. Looking at me, no, not military at all. No, it's just what do I do with my day? Let's just go and coach some people. I'm a coach. I'm basically a PT. Been a PT for sort of 5 years now. So I decided to take my PT more into the OCR side of things, functional fitness. So yeah, I basically train and coach.
To be fair, if I lived closer, I'd be there a lot. It's pretty cool. It looks cool.
And I used to be a chippy, so a wood butcher, a joiner, I don't know what you call them in America, carpenter.
Jack the Carpenter.
That's why Aaron Newell always says Jack the Carpenter, because my name is Jack Carpenter and I am a carpenter. So I built all the obstacles myself, most things pretty handy on my hands. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And when I'm not there, I'm here writing training plans for other people.
So you have a facility?
Yes, a facility, a training facility.
Field fit facility.
I'm not sure what you'd have in America similar, but it is basically just an outdoor OCR venue.
But is there an indoor piece when it gets freezing, or you
people just man up. We're from the UK, apart from I can't stand the cold. But yeah, people just man up and do it.
No, man. Like last night, for instance, pissing down with rain, the field was practically flooded, and I had 15 running around like idiots in the mud. Loved every second of it. Oh,
tell us about your endurance events, Jack, and the fact you did something like for the Barclay Marathons where you asked everyone to bring dog food.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we did endurance events. So I put on a 4, a 6, and an 8 hour endurance event this year, and it basically was like a 6 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour boot camp. And I asked to basically bring very random things like dog food, armbands, spades, buckets, all those really random things. And we just basically had a lot of fun and enjoyed 8 hours of torture, basically, to some people.
Yeah, that's my least favorite kind of endurance event.
Do you know what? I hate doing it, but I really enjoy coaching it, taking it. I wouldn't, for me as a self myself, I wouldn't want to do it, but actually hosting it is great fun.
So what he's saying is he likes to put other people through suffering.
Yeah.
He's a masochist.
Yeah, but if you said to me, right, Jack, world's toughest mudder or a 24-hour event, I'm all over that. I like the idea of doing something like that, but probably...
See, I like the idea of the 24-hour Spartan Ultra in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, but you're not very good at cold. Tahoe proved that. So
Did you DNF Tahoe, Natasha?
I did, yeah. Sadly. I tried my hardest. I had all the thermals, and when people were saying, oh, no one was in the right kit, I was in a thermal rash vest, a non-breathable, like kayaking waterproof, thermal hat, leg mitts. I had everything on and I still went KO.
Matt, here's a bit of advice for you, Matt. Don't share a room with Natasha the night before a massive race when storm whatever was coming in, because she was the worst person to be with, point blank.
Why is that?
Because she had, like, in the nicest possible way, Natasha, I love you, but honestly, her clothing choice was just, the whole hotel room was just like covered, and me and frozen or
he's pretending he's frozen. He does this all the time.
No, he's there. You were there, Matt. Was it that cold? I know you didn't race. I know you didn't get in that water. But do you think it was that cold?
He's pretending that his sound's
No,
going
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I got to do something. I just got a text. Stay with me here a moment. What's the word?
I don't know. Narrow it down for us, Matt.
Conditions, terrain.
It
was the worst Tahoe's been weather-wise.
Everyone was moaning about it.
If you've got to get in that water, okay, and you can't warm up really quickly after getting out of that water, you are, as we say, proper fucked. I mean, right? That's it. That's it. If it's not like you're gonna warm up later, right? And so that's what happened to people. Either the swim or the ape hanger. Yes. Once your hands and body, it's like if you can't regulate, right? Then you're fucked. So this is what I say is like it's honestly really not about who's tough, because on a certain day somebody else's body might not break down, and then you know what I mean? So here's a good example. My friend went to run the Boston Marathon a few years ago. It's a big deal here. You know, you qualify for it. You've heard me talk about it. Well, if you're really fast, you qualify for it, and people want to qualify for Boston. It's a huge deal. My friend David Chandler is one of the most fit individuals I know, and it's April in Boston, which can be cold. And so you get on a bus, you're driven to the front of the start line, you're waiting. His body started breaking down badly. So by the time the race started, he pushed as far as he could, and like mile 15, he was like, you know what I mean? So maybe on a same exact scenario, on a different day, his body didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Now listen, we always get into who's the toughest and the hardest beast and who's a pussy and who didn't do this and whatever. But, you know, who's to say sometimes you do everything right and your body just doesn't want to cooperate. And sometimes you do. And sometimes it is just a matter of mentally getting through it no matter what. So who's to know?
Yeah. So like I likened it to the Spartan Euros was so hot this year, wasn't it? It was like 40 degrees. And I thrived in that. You know, it's just I don't deal well with cold. I'm fine in the heat. Whereas other people were DNFing because of the extreme heat. So, you know, just different horses for different courses. Or the other way around.
Is that a phrase?
Different courses for different horses.
Is that a
I'm
phrase?
now doubting myself.
You're now talking to a very American podcast. They don't know shit about those sort of sayings.
So why don't we tell people?
Different strokes for different folks. There you go.
That's another one.
We say that.
That's another one. Yeah.
In America, we definitely say that.
So I'm crossing my fingers for Abu Dhabi.
Well,
of course.
We'll get to Abu Dhabi in a minute. But let's talk about you. So you guys, you have this podcast. You're both. Yes. You're both. Why don't you? Okay, how about this? I'll have to do this to make it fair. I'm going to ask you to talk about the other one in terms of like general fitness. Like I do my show. I'm kind of this regular chap. People like me. I don't protest. I don't profess to know the most about training and or fitness. Kind of an everyman, if you will. Right? You guys are actually really fit folks, elite athletes. You run in the elite waves. So if you were going to compare Natasha, okay.
Careful, Jack.
Well, I'm going to have you do it for Jack in a minute too. Like, where is Natasha, like, in terms of, like, in England, is she, like, top, like, wins all the local races and then top 5 where she has the tougher English competition? Like, where is she?
Okay.
Where is she?
Okay, I've got this nailed. Don't worry, I've got this nailed. Okay, so Natasha's not even going to enter local races because it's just going to be a breeze, right? Okay, coach comes and says to you, go do a 5K this Saturday at Park Run. Right, I'm going to get pushed. You turn up to Park Run, you beat everyone by 3 minutes. What's the point of doing Park Run? You're too quick for those guys, yeah? Next level. Natasha's above that, right? So if you say to anyone in the UK, any one of our listeners, top 3 guys, is going to be in that top 3 in the UK.
Guys? Easily. She's one of the top 3 guys.
Then it depends what race you're doing. And if you're going to say to me anything... Because she's a beast.
Okay, I heard none of that. It was completely frozen. Okay? When I said local run, I didn't mean park run. I mean OCR. When I say local, so for example, like this guy Yuri Force, right?
Yeah.
He used to win all the Savages here, and then Ryan Wood started showing up. But before then, he's going to win all the Savages. He's going to win every other smaller event locally that happens. But then when the Spartan Sprint happens, he may not be. He might be on the podium, but he might be 5th or 6th, depending on who shows up. And if he showed up to Tahoe, he's not even close to those guys, but that's fine, right? But just he's going to win every local race, and he's definitely going to probably be on the podium for the Georgia Spartan, but maybe not. Maybe 5th or 6th, depending on the day. So that's what I mean by local run. So
Okay, well, you've got to also remember, here in the UK, we do not have local OCRs. We have one race, and now potentially only one race, and that is it.
We have like very, very local type races, which you can't. They're not on the same level as Savage. So we have Tough Mudder, which hasn't got the competitive side anymore. We've got Spartan, Nuclear do some races, but to be honest, our main competitive race is Spartan.
And if you were going to ask that question, where is Tash going to come? I would put my money on her being podium every time. And if she's not on podium, normally there's something wrong.
Who are the top 3 UK gals?
Natasha, no order. Natasha, Andrea, Jade Skilling.
But Nikki.
Andrea what? What's her last name?
Andrea Burkes.
How have you done in OCR Worlds over the years, Natasha?
I've not really done it, to be honest, Matt.
Jesus Christ.
Because it means travelling to freaking America every 5 minutes.
This year was and to be honest, the reason I haven't done London is purely because of
shit.
I think actually the London course I could do really, really well on, but apart from, they do that what's the thing where they fly into the water, Jack? Death slide, which should, in my opinion, sorry everyone, should not be in the world. It's a slide, but I know that my body will shut down with the cold in October after getting soaking wet like that. So, and I don't want to wrap myself up in neoprene because then I can't run fast. So I have picked my races based on that. I've chose not to compete because what's the point? I'd rather focus on, the likes of Spartan Europeans and stuff like that. So I'll do it. And no, I won't do it because it's in Vermont this year. So I'll focus on Spartan this year, to be honest. Probably do like Europeans, maybe Worlds if it is somewhere warmer, and Greece. And maybe some road races again this year. I want to do some road races leading into
So have you done the Spartan Euros or the other Euros?
I did Spartan Euros last year, 2019.
And how did that go?
I got 6th and 1st.
What are those?
Beast I got 6th, and Sprint I got 1st.
All right. Okay.
I'm the other way around.
That was supposed to go much quicker. It took far too long to get to. So let's see if we can much quicker. You answer for Jack now. Where is he in the UK scene?
Oh, he's definitely top. I have to admit, the men's field is really, really deep. But Jack this year, I think, from knowing him in the past couple of years, has had his best year yet. And surprisingly, at the shorter distances, I always pegged Jack as a longer distance chap. But before he got his injury, he was actually smashing the sprints. Don't know why that amazes me. But yeah.
How many minutes behind John Albin can you finish?
Oh, well, we haven't really competed against John. John Albin doesn't do our races.
Well, I was second Brit to John at the Euros this year. And I was over a beast course about 30 minutes off him.
Okay.
That was in Italy this year.
Okay. Did you go to OCRWC?
I didn't this year because I got injured about 5 weeks before.
But you were
he fell off the top of his... No, he jumped off the top of his...
But you were in America, though, right?
I went to Tahoe, injured.
No, but OCRWC in America.
No.
You never did that? You never did Ohio or...
I've only been doing OCR for like 2 years.
Me too.
So
I was a pure runner before that, and Jack did.
So you weren't okay. So like on the UK teams was usually like Albin, Appleton, and like what's his name?
Yeah,
Connor
and James. What's the other
one? Come back, Connor.
So are you better than Connor?
Difficult to say because
I know you're better than James. James is.
Connor was destroying everyone before he decided to jack it all in. So he sort of jacked it in and has had like a year and a half off. So we don't know where he's at. But Connor, when he comes back, is a beast and probably the only one that can get close to John Albin in the UK. But he has not raced for a year and a half.
So you don't have any other... England's a big country.
We've got, like Natasha says, there's probably about 20 guys, but we're all very close. And depending whether it's a sprint, long distance.
God damn it.
Local races, but I wouldn't be able to name them off the top of my head.
No.
They're not like your Savage, your Terrains, your...
And then
Fog, RIP.
That means we have to go to Europe, which, to answer it, in Europe have some amazing races like your Toughest, your OCR series, your Strong Viking, all those races. And then they tend to be annihilated by the Belgians, the Germans, and the Danes.
I keep freezing, guys. I don't know why the fuck this is happening. Come on.
Too many races. We can't just... we'd be racing every weekend. One of those as well, so you got to kind of pick your battles, haven't you? Not race too much.
Can you? But, I mean, Jack.
Yo.
Nikolai and what's his name? Where
Leon.
Do you finish? Leon. How do you do?
Leon. We love Leon the Pac-Man.
How do you finish compared to Leon and Nikolai?
I haven't raced against Nikolai or Leon. They did do Greece. Nikolai did Greece, but I was walking for Greece, so I couldn't say. But it'll be interesting.
He was bad.
I'm now working with Nikolai, so it will be interesting to see.
Are you?
His main goal is to get me a podium at Russia, so because I've just been picked for the UK team for Russia, so we'll see how that goes.
Or will it be somewhere else? Will it be Russia?
That's the story for another day, surely.
What do you reckon, Matt?
I think we should talk about this. You are the official.
Yes,
podcast.
We are. OCR podcast, the
official OCR podcast.
Yeah.
Of World, what's it called? World OCR? What's it called?
Yeah, World OCR, yeah. FISO.
Which, as you know, most Americans hate.
Yep.
I mean, maybe not hate, but aren't really...
Dislike, strongly.
Well, I don't know or how or see why. I get the grumbles. I understand what people say when they say, what's his agenda? Why is Ian doing this? Where's the money coming from? Blah, 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 blah. What I don't understand is why anybody has any negativity about putting on a race where it is for OCR. At the end of the day, he wants to get, or FISO, Ian, wants to get the best racers to a world recognised OCR event and race. I don't see, and let's be honest, they host European races. They host the European Championships, which is an awesome race and has been for years. Runs really well, really smoothly. They know what they're doing. I get the Russia thing. I understand why Americans would be like, Russia, anti-doping, blah, 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 blah. But if we were coming to America, the Americans wouldn't moan. I think it's purely because it's in Russia. The Americans are moaning like fuck. But then again, no one else in Europe is either. Everyone can't wait for it here in Europe. Everyone's training for it. Everyone's planning for it. All the teams are being selected. You know, I just think it's Americans that seem to have a problem. Even the Canadians, even they've got a freaking race going for it. You know, so
they do.
They do, yeah.
What's it called?
Don't know what it's called, but they've got a race going.
Who's they?
I get the fact.
Peter Dobos is the head of the Canada qualifying race for World OCR.
I get the fact.
Just hang on a second.
Russia
so where and when is this?
I've just broken some news.
Where and when is this race?
Hold on. Let me break the news properly. Let me get the real information. You feel while I get the proper information.
I'm saying that
it can't be. I'm saying that it can't be. The Canadians are excited about it when this is the first I'm hearing about it, and I know
because you don't know everything, Matt B. Davis.
I do.
You're not the know-it-all.
The Oracle.
I don't know everything, but I would have heard of this by now because people tell me things if I don't know.
Right.
Are you drinking Pedialyte? What are you drinking?
Squash.
Squash.
Red wine. I'm joking.
What's squash?
Bring me your wine.
What's squash? I suppose, would you call it...
What? Squash! You see why I make fun of you?
Squash?
You're like...
Cordial?
That's
cordial?
what it's like talking to you.
Do you call it cordial?
I don't know what that means either.
You know, you put flavoured stuff in your water to make it taste of things.
Oh, yeah, there's a company, there's a generic company, I can't think of the name of it.
We have loads of different companies that make squash.
This Canadian race is so ubiquitous, Jack can't even find it.
No, I'm just double check. No, it's not the internet. It's a private message, but I'm just double checking I can actually say anything before I get in shit. It's actually already being released.
Right,
I don't know if
and they're doing such a great job that obstacle racing media hasn't heard of it.
Yeah, but you're not the media for the whole world, are you?
We are proud to announce our partners for the first ever Canadian Championships will be held at Ski Bella Niage with Northman Race next July the 19th. Obstacle Sports Canada.
Is that July 19th, 2020?
Yep.
Okay, so let's just put it to you this way. It's not as though I expect everyone to shoot me a DM, but nobody is talking about it. That is how I would have heard. Just hang on. That is how I would have heard because people would be saying, have you heard about this? Pretty awesome. Are you going to go? Am I going to go? No one is talking about it. So
true. And I get that.
So it can't be that big of a deal.
And I need that. Yeah, but for
it's
instance,
January.
Right, if
they could be promoting.
Oh, okay. So obstacle races only need like a week to get people to go. I get it. Sure.
I'm just trying to think.
No, all I'm saying though, right? Okay, so bearing in mind, Lindsay is the head of the athlete board for World OCR. Okay, herself, Mike Giarello, Faye Morgan, Ryan
all doing
Atkins.
a fantastic job promoting this event that, dare I say, no one is talking about.
100%.
I'm in 100 Facebook groups and a fucking Discord dedicated to obstacle racing.
Well, we were told we can release this, okay? Then we were told, no, don't release it. We'll just put it online and hopefully people will find it.
What?
That's the most brilliant marketing
100%,
thing I've ever heard in my life.
100%. But I just told you, so yeah. So Ryan, if you're listening, Lindsay, you have to go qualify.
Listen, I have a relationship with Peter. I like Peter. Do you know what Peter's reputation is over here?
No. Do you want to share this online for people to hear, though?
I'm happy to because Peter and I have spoken at great length.
Do you know this guy?
Nope.
Who's that? I can't see.
Petrosyan? No.
Okay.
Go on then. Come on, Matt. Fill us in.
Peter
in.
Peter is a know-it-all.
He's a clever guy, though. Give him that.
I didn't say he wasn't clever. I'm saying that if there's a conversation to be had in America, there's three guys that always comment. And again, I've said this to his face. I used to be one. I'm not anymore. If there's a subject that comes up, okay, 3 comments you can guarantee with very know-it-all tones, right? I would say in this order: Peter, Dennis Welch, and then Tim. Tim Sennett's a little bit behind. Tim, of those 3, is the least know-it-all. Tim is, I think, the more of the hey, this is just kind of my opinion. The other two, it's like, oh, great, here goes these two again. So again, I've had it like we at TMX, me and Peter and Dennis even like said like, you know, how can you always be right when I'm always right? Like we joke about it. It's okay. So I'm not shitting on Peter, but I'm saying that it's not like if they said Ryan Atkins is putting this on or Lindsay is putting this on or, you know, somebody else that like people would get fired up about. So that's saying Peter is behind it is not the greatest thing in the world. That's all I'm saying. And I love you, Peter. And Peter and I have had several off the record conversations. So there you go.
It's all right, Jack. We don't need to defend it. It's not our country. It's not the UK one.
the less that Ryan Atkins turns up, the better it is for me. So I don't give a shit.
Not that I can be.
But listen, doesn't that? I'm stepping on what Josh and I are going to talk about. I'm sure Josh and I are going to spend a lot of time talking about this now. Doesn't that tell you? Sometimes companies do everything. Sometimes one thing can tell you all you need to know. If someone says, don't promote this, people will just find it. Like that says to me, you're a really horrible marketer.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's not just like, hey, we're out of cups. We'll get more cups in a few minutes. Like that's like a major, major thing. That makes no fucking sense.
Maybe they've got a marketing strategy and they just wanted to put it out there and they've got something to roll out.
Their marketing strategy is they're just kind of hoping that Ryan and Lindsay and the top 5 guys will get selected by themselves anyway, and no one will need to race. So that's
let's go back to you being selected for the UK team. Okay.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Well, I don't. They've got their own criteria, haven't they?
Okay, so what's happened in the UK?
There's a board.
Let's start again. Okay, so UK didn't have a governing body. We didn't have a head of OCR in UK. We now got one. It's reasonably new. It's been going for 6-7 months, okay? Called the UK OSF. That is our federation of UK OCR.
Which is under Ian's thing of World OCR.
Which is under Ian's thing of World OCR. Same as you have an American one run by that guy.
But not really.
What's his name? But not really. Yeah. Same as Canada's got one, but not really. So, okay. Right. So that's happened. And then
we're definitely going to the Olympics.
We were supposed to have a race. And the top guys from that race were going to get selected. They were going to rush it. Boom. Right. The race was never going to happen. Let's be honest. It takes more than 3 months to set up a race and get people there. So the race did not happen.
Which race?
So this UK selecting race we're supposed to have.
Was that the one that was clashing with the Spartan
100%.
Euros and
So they basically turned around and said, fuck the race, we'll just get a panel in place and we'll just select the best 5 athletes, male and female, for 3K, 100 meters and 12K. Great. Who's going to be on the panel? Let's select a load of non-biased people, so volunteers, race directors, people that aren't racing, have no say in like bias or anything like that. So that's how it's worked. First selection, they've just gone, right, let's have a look at who deserves a place on the list. They've gone down all of our athletes and gone, she does, he does, she does, he does, who. That's round 1 of 4, I do believe.
And I just hadn't replied, sorry, Becky, in time for that release, but I have replied now.
Yeah, so athletes were told, if you want to be a part of the selection panel, as in being selected, you have to put in your reply to say, yes, I want to be a part. I put in, yes, I'd like to be a part. I have been selected. How I've been selected and what I've been selected on, I have no idea. I don't get privy to that information. All I know is they want me to race the 3K for the UK. And that's
I requested 12K.
And that's pretty much it.
So Natasha's been selected or not been selected?
It's not been announced, but I have replied to confirm that yes, I would like the spot.
But again, you jump right over like, oh, this race was going to happen. Well, no, it's not. Let's just pick it. Like, again, these are not good things. If you say you're going to put on a fucking race and then like, oh shit, we actually can't, it's not good.
No, I agree.
Hey, let me speak for the Americans a bit. I'm just going to speculate here. The reason so much pushback happened is twofold, right? One is this idea that, you know, we love Adrian and please don't go against Adrian, even though this is not against Adrian, right? There's no reason we can't have multiple events, especially if they're in different countries. You can do both. You can do one or the other. So that's one of it. That's a very sort of a protective thing. Two, again, right or wrong, there's this idea of you're not going to tell us you're the governing body, right? We're going to decide that, even though they weren't deciding it anyway, right? Like, you know, Ian said it on my show. He's like, listen, nobody stepped up. Jamie stepped up, and now you're going to shit on Jamie? Like, he's the one guy that stepped up. So I get all that, right? I think America's not right. Like the people aren't right. It's like, it's so easy to say, I'm not going to do it, but you're doing a horrible job, right? That's kind of like, that's a very common thing, right?
It's a human thing.
Well, I don't know if it's
not just OCR.
Right. Yes, it's a human thing in that regard, but I mean like a bad human thing, right? Like not a trait that people necessarily want. Like I think like jealousy is like a human thing. Like you can't really help it. You work on it, but saying
it's not a desirable trait.
Right. So for example, you know, what people learn in an organization is how to shut somebody up usually, right? So let's say you're in a neighborhood meeting and this guy keeps bitching about this thing, whatever it is. It's like, great. Do you want to head up the team that's going to actually do that? No. Right? So now that guy's going to
then be quiet
for a little while. Then they'll figure out something else to bitch about. So, you know, who was Spartan to say it was a world championship in 2011? It was, right? Like, but they did, and now they're understood to have their own world championship. So we definitely could shut up a little bit and be open to more. And Ian could be a little bit more transparent. And some people just aren't, you know what I mean? Like some people just aren't, like you're Jack. Like if they're going to pick a spokesman or somebody to like be out front about it, you're a great guy to do that. You're level-headed. You speak well. You are an athlete, right? But you know what I mean? Like not everybody's me or you or lovely Tasha here who can actually work with people. Some people like Ian just might not be these people that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. But so you say transparency, and that's a word that I hear a lot, even in the UK now. Because there's a lot of people in the UK still that don't want this, you know, don't like the idea of Ian doing Russia, blah, blah, blah. So I want to know is, what do you want to know? Like, but quite basically, okay, I get it's Russia, and that whole drug thing is a big fucking issue.
We can. But
it doesn't mean that we're all going to be doped.
No, not at all. No, but a lot of people.
I'm going to get B12 shots in me bum.
But what I'm saying is, I've heard a lot of top athletes, including Aaron, and Aaron won't want me to say this, and Nicole, because I chat to them a lot, and they say, "Oh, we're not going to go support a country that's blah 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 blah." But I'm sorry, if John Alban turns around tomorrow and says, "I'm going to Russia," Ryan Atkins sure as hell turns around tomorrow and goes, "Fuck it, I fancy a bit of that." Guess what? All of a sudden, you've got Woodsy,Aaron, everyone wanting that top money. I fancy a bit of that, you know.
Have another go, Joe. My wife likes you.
I had a little thought about it, and to be honest, I think they could potentially change and not go to Russia still. And it's an odd choice, but it doesn't mean because it's held in Russia that it's pro-doping.
Listen, I'm not that hung up on Russia. That just didn't help. Hey, his reputation is already of like, we're not sure who this guy is and what's going on. And then you picked the country that just got banned. So that was just bad optics, as we say in America. I'm not that hung up on the Russia thing. And I agree with you 100% that if a few of the top guys start going, all the top guys will go. And then all the best age group guys will want to go. And then all the open, and you're right. If Ian announced tomorrow it was going to be in Stratton, Vermont, people would show up. I think you're 100% right. I lost my point.
I'm probably trying to think, okay, this is the first year it's happening. There's going to be a lot of mistakes made. There's going to be a lot of things people aren't happy with, but that means next year, hopefully they'll improve. And then the year after they'll improve.
But here's the thing. Jack just said he got here. You've been around longer, right, Natasha?
No, I think me and Jack, our first race was the same race, wasn't it? Win the Beast 2000. Yeah. Our first race was the same race.
All right. Well, then you're the wrong people to ask. But my understanding is that there's been multiple UK and European organizations, and there's been some fighting and some weirdness. And
and there still is. There still is.
But that's the part that I've never quite understood, that I've tried to get a handle on, that I can't, which is like when you say, oh, it's understood by everybody, I feel like there's been some like ugliness.
I feel there is still some ugliness. I still feel like, we have a big issue over here. Like, I personally think, coming back to your very original point, Matt, is we started the podcast, me and Luke, 2 years ago because there was nothing out there in England. There was a magazine which was dying on its feet and still is. There was Facebook. But there was nothing. So Luke said, why don't we do a podcast? Because I write blogs, you write blogs. Blogs are boring. No one fucking reads them. Let's do a podcast. Boom. We were clever to do a podcast because bar you and a couple of people in America, no one was doing podcasts. Now every fucker does a podcast. Everyone wants a piece of the bloody podcast action. But we were one of the first in the UK.
Were you a listener of this show prior to?
Yes.
Me?
I listened to you and Hunter literally religiously back to back.
And I listened to you, Obstacle Dominator, when it was Hunter and Ben Greenfield and Rose. And then Jack and Luke, obviously I listened to you.
Yeah. But for us, we were the first two elite athletes.
What about Mud Tap?
Mud Tap? What's Mud Tap?
Mud Tap Mud Tap was a OCR UK podcast.
Really? Never heard of them. Could have been that good.
Google it later.
I will. Mud Tap. I will.
They had how many episodes did they have?
Go look while we're talking, Natasha.
Mud Tap. Oh.
She didn't have to do this. Come on, let's be honest. This is Natasha.
I could hang up here.
She probably will hang up.
All right,
So we're coming from an elite point of view. So when we do our podcast, me and Luke talk about the races we've taken part in from being at the top end, not the every person volunteer open wave. I get that. I understand that OCR has to have that for money, business, blah, 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 blah. That's not me. I go to a race to fucking win, or at least try, So when we do our media, it definitely comes from an athlete, elite point of view. And the issue with England is we're so far behind that, it's unreal. Like, everyone is still open wave, woohoo, let's go have a bit of fun, which is great and what we need. I'm not slagging off anyone, but I think for the sport to move forward, you have to have the top tier pushing the sport in that direction. And I think the problem is in England, they still want it to be this fun, jolly mud run, and it can't be this great Olympic sport with amazing frills and spills and blah, blah, blah. If you've got those guys running that, you need a John Albon to go, come on, guys, this is not a OCR, this is a fucking slide with a bit of water and a bit of mud, My opinion,
to me, that's the beauty of our sport, is that we are both.
Yes. But the issue we've got and had in England is the guys that were trying to put on these big races were the ones that wanted to not hurt anybody. It's a bit like your children, right? If they lose at sports, do you give them a medal for losing? It's that whole thing. I think, fuck that. Come on, build your kids up strong. You're lost, get on with it, go home, fail, train, come back harder, stronger, win. Every one of these top athletes you've had.
I think my official stance on that is like age 6 forward, like 0 to 4, let them run around, fucking do whatever, who cares? 6 forward, you keep score, there's winners, there's losers. So did you find it?
And you better be a winner.
Did you find it?
No.
Fuck's sake, all that time.
I was looking.
Jack's on it. Jack's on it.
Jack, I want to ask you a question because then we got to wrap up.
Go for it.
So first of all, I definitely want to have you back because I feel like a whole hour just passed and we barely covered everything.
Have we even started recording yet?
No, we're going to start recording now. I'm going to ask you a question. What has the feedback been on your show?
In what? In the last 2 years or?
Yeah, like what do people like about it? What do you want to improve? Like what do people say about your show?
Okay, so I think initially from a UK point of view, I think people enjoyed. Do you know what's really weird? And I'm just going to go in completely. When we look back at our stats, okay, the ones where I've got John Abbott on, obviously they're well listened to, you know, all the American guys. But the ones that people really like listening to are like race reviews and me and Luke talking shit for an hour. I can't believe that people actually like that stuff. But, so yeah, that surprised us. It doesn't matter how good the guest is. They love the shit, in my opinion. But
they just love Jack and Luke.
What about the young lady on the phone? What about her?
So I pulled in Tash. I said to Luke, "Come on, it's about time we pulled in someone for a bit of help." So we obviously went for someone less attractive than us, so it didn't take away from me and Luke.
Just someone had a big gob.
Someone with a big gob, yeah. But yeah, Tash is obviously the perfect fit in the OCR podcast world. So, but yeah, no, I mean, just to plug a little bit more, we're coming up for 2 years old in February. And we've just hit about 100,000 listens, which
That's great.
blow. I mean, we're not America. We're UK, for God's sake. We haven't even got that many people living in the UK. They're English. You know, it blows my mind that people actually tune in to listen to me. I get you. You've been going for a long time. I understand that you've been there a long time. I mean, how long have you been doing this?
2012.
So since
Andrew, you are a professional. It is a source of, you know, income for you.
You're sponsored by your own podcast.
You are actually a sponsored podcast. We're just doing this on the side of, well, our jobs. Jack doesn't have a job, but you know what I mean. This is just, I suppose you'd call, we are doing this just on our own time and our own expense, and we're not a professional entity.
Which is why when people talk about our sound quality, it fucking pisses me off, because
we're doing our best.
All this shit I buy by my own pockets. You know, I'm not supported, I'm not helped, we're not. Which is why we started Patreon, which I
live on my own, remember?
Yeah. We're just poor English. We don't earn 30,000, 60,000 from race winnings.
Right, but if I go someplace to eat and it's garbage and they say, well, I'm not making any profit, why don't you just like what I'm giving you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd be paying. If you went somewhere to eat, you'd be paying for that food. You would expect. That's the difference.
All right. So let's say. All right. So I'm gonna
paying. If
all right.
People are going,
so let me back up.
No.
Let me back up. I'm gonna open a coffee shop. Okay.
Yep.
Free coffee and muffins.
Yep.
And you drink the coffee, and it's spoiled milk in it, and the muffins are all hard and bread. Yep. And they say, "Why are you serving me this garbage?" And I'm like, "It's free. Get the fuck out."
Yep.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's flawed. You understand that's flawed?
Yeah,
well, no, because
Matt, let's be fair. I don't think our sound is that bad.
No. And to answer you, the last few days we've improved. We've gone up. We started doing. I made mistakes. Like I spoke to you, Matt, on the phone. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm learning from those mistakes. We'll get better. We'll improve. We'll continue to put out the best quality we can.
I'm awkward because I don't have a laptop. And I don't have a few £100,000 to spare on a laptop. Sorry, yet.
I'm going to tell you something, and you can ignore me or take it in or whatever. People who make video, people who make movies, okay, will tell you, you can have bad video, you cannot have bad audio. You understand? Like, if it doesn't match up, it doesn't work. People are very, very forgiving. People go on a run, whatever. If they say to you, it was so bad I had to stop it, you should listen to that and fix your audio. Now,
how many have we had, Jack? How many have we had that have said that?
Just let me finish. And I know you have, and I know you're working on it. And it doesn't have to be, you know, NPR quality, right? It doesn't have to be serial quality. You can get it pretty good and people will deal. But if it's really bad and people tell you, I want to listen to you, and it's really bad, you should probably listen. So there you go.
And I have to say, we've listened and we have improved.
But don't say fuck off to people who are giving you
he's winding you up. That's called sarcasm.
No. I wouldn't say fuck off to that person. Let's be honest. But
I would like to, maybe people can, and we have to set up Patreon, so that will obviously.
Let me put it to you this way. Occasionally people tell me, like, you burp and you curse too much, right? Now, I don't really change much. But if like a ton of people told me that, I might think about it. Maybe. That's all.
Okay. But Matt, do you think there is a difference between if this was our job and we were making an income from it, or we are just doing it for some fun for people to help promote OCR to...
No, I don't at all. Like I said, then come to my free coffee shop where you get disgusting coffee, and then don't complain to me about it because it's bad.
Okay. OCR audio.
The price of a product, the price of a service doesn't affect...
He's just interrupting me now.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. I was going to say, may our listeners please give us some feedback. Is our sound that bad? Is it a case of you think it's if you can't afford to buy new laptops and microphones off your own back without the Patreon that you've just set up, then quit the podcast? Would you rather we don't do this at all and we bugger off because you're fed up with listening to our sound quality? Fine. Tell us. Go ahead. We will listen to that and we'll try and do something about it. Or actually, do you quite like our podcast and you want us to carry on and find ways of making a way to invest in it so that we can, in the longer term, bring you better sound quality, get to more races? We will work on it, but we can't just overnight. I'll be honest with you, Matt. We don't have thousands of pounds or sponsors coming in, so we can't just do it like that.
Ma'am, no one does. There's 600,000 podcasts out there. Most people are just people in their house with very simple equipment, and they figure out a way to make it sound half decent. The problem with what you just said is the people that are listening now who are your fans, of course, are willing, right? They're like, well, yeah, I like you and I'm willing to do it. But you've already lost all these other people that were giving you chance after chance and it didn't sound good. So
I think maybe that sounds like you're overestimating how many feedbacks we had on sound. I think we've had a couple of them.
We've had two.
We've had two, and it was on specific episodes.
I think they've both been Matt on other Instagram users' profiles personally because he's a bit worried that we're coming for him. But there you go.
But we've had two, and they were on episodes that it was the environment that we were in.
I really want you to think about this because you're saying it as if, again, like I just keep going with this coffee thing of like, well, I don't have any money and I found the cheapest grounds I could find. Podcasting, because the barrier is so low, right? Because I see this all the time. I'm in these podcasting groups and people put the cart way before the horse. They buy $3,000 worth of equipment and they have nothing to talk about and they're boring and they're not going to get any listens either. So I see that part. But whatever you were doing that caused people to tune out, just fix that. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and I think we've learned, like, one was the episode with Joe, wasn't it? Live at the Stadion. So, we've learned from that. We'd never done something like that before.
And I can tell you that 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been as bad because, like, people did. But now
the standards going up.
The standards are going up.
People do this as a job.
People can launch a podcast just with their phone. You can get on Audacity just using the auto record button on here. That's all I'm saying. So I do need to let you go. I feel like we have a lot more to talk about. Whoa.
He just took a picture of himself, by the way, users. No, I heard it go.
I screenshot it accidentally. I'm big fans of you guys, having said all that. And we'll have you back on and we'll talk about a bunch more stuff.
Matt Davis, has been an absolute pleasure.
It has, Matt.
You sweetheart.
All right.
Sweetheart.
Talk to you later.
Bye.